Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in with Talk with You, the one and only Christian motivation podcast, hosted by your one and only Joe Benji Georges.
Hello and good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? I hope that you guys had a wonderful night, and I pray that you guys' morning started good, not bad. Today is Monday, August 9, 2021. Saturday was your boy birthday. August 7 was my birthday. I had a wonderful day. I spent time worshiping God, giving God praise and glory for adding another year to my life. That's the only thing I actually do on my birthday. I'm not really like a big party person or gift person. If somebody want to wish me happy birthday, just pray God, worship God for allowing me to actually still be alive, because a lot of people didn't wake up Saturday. A lot of people die before their birthday on Saturday or during their birthday. They get so excited on their way home, accident or at home, sickness, but by the grace of God, I'm still here. And we're going to continue talking about the topic suicide. I started on Friday. I didn't really go deep into it. On Friday, I just went over it, like talk a little bit about it, letting you guys know that's what I'm going to be talking about for a while. So you guys can communicate with me, like telling me a story, telling me something you know about suicide, so I can talk about it during my show, or if you want me to invite you, as a guest on my show, I will do so. I will be gladly do so. I will be happy to do so. So you can tell the world about your, experience, or something you went through, or someone in your life went through, or a loved one went through. So we're gonna be focused on what can cause someone to commit suicide, or what can cause someone to want to commit suicide. The first one is mental illness. Mental illness is the number one thing that I know. Maybe somebody else knows something worse than but that I know is one of many. But to me, that's the number one thing that can cause somebody to actually want to commit suicide. Most people make the decision to attempt suicide shortly after doing so, rather than planning it out. Well, there are many factors that can influence a person decided to commit suicide. The most common one is severe depression. So mental illness, is part of depression. So depression makes someone have mental illness, or mental illness makes someone have depression. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. So depression can make people feel great emotional pain and loss of hope, making them unable to see another way, to relieve pain rather than ending their own life. Depression. We're gonna take some time on depression. You know, just like I said, like on Friday, I used to go to some kind of depression. I call it depression, but I wasn't suffering depression. I was just going through a lot. I think I was like doing too much, so I kind of got stressed a little bit, and it felt like I was going through depression. I did have the idea, sorry, I did have the idea to actually commit suicide, and then I overcome it. Like second later, I overcome it by the grace of God. So depression is something that is very bad. When you go to depression, you have a lot of stuff coming to your mind. The enemy will send a lot of flesh into your mind to make you want to commit suicide. The enemy will send like a lot of doubt into your mind to make you want to commit suicide, or to make you do it. Some people end up doing it because of depression. So depression is part of mental illness. There's like many things within the mental illness, but I'm not going too deep into it today. We're gonna focus like on 3 points today. So the first one is mental illness. Within mental illness, we find depression. I used to know someone. I actually know that many people with depression, but I'm talking about one person, that I actually know because I used to be roommate with that person. She actually went to. I think she still is. Yeah, she's still going through it. A lot of depression. When she actually get into that, all she wanna do is commit suicide. So one day I was in the car with her. I was driving somewhere with her, and then like she actually turned the wheel, trying to commit suicide in the car with me in the car. So she turned the wheel. I was on the highway driving 65 per mile, and then she turned the wheel, and then the car started spinning. If it wasn't for the love of God, if it wasn't for the presence of God, I was not gonna be alive. I actually saw my life ended that day. I didn't think I was gonna survive, but I made it. The car, I was able to stop the car before the car ran straight to the wall or off the highway. I was able to stop it on time, but it wasn't me stopping the car. It was the Holy Spirit stopping the car for me. It was the angels watching over me that actually stopped the car for me. Because me, I was like, I had no more control. Like first it was a shock. I didn't think she was gonna do it, but she wanted to commit suicide with me in the car because of her mental problems. She have PTSD, like depression problem, mental health problems. So since that day, I said, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna be, like doing stuff like that. But I did it again. She did it again another time. That day I was not on the highway. I was on the regular, like driving somewhere, driving back home. Same thing happened again. So people that have a lot of depression, most of them want to commit suicide if they don't have somebody to help them. Most of them, they actually think suicide is the only way for them to get out of their pain or their suffering. What causes depression? So now we're gonna focus on what causes someone to feel depressed. It can be like a relationship. Maybe they had a boyfriend or they had a girlfriend that actually like broke up with them and they was in love with that person and they start getting into depression because they started suffering. The suffering caused them to go to deep depression because they were so in love with that person. Another example of what can cause someone to depress, to make them want to commit suicide, it could be like a marriage problem. They having problem into their marriage. The husband or the wife cheating on them or abusing them mentally, or physically, that can cause a lot of depression and that can cause somebody to commit suicide. A lot of people commit suicide because of that. Another way someone can get into deep depression to want to commit suicide, it could be within their family. Their father is actually not in their life, or he is in their life, but he's actually not being a father, or he's abusing his son or daughter, or the mother is doing the same thing as well, and the kid is going through a lot of depression, and then they're not helping them, even though the parents is not the cause of it, but something causing the child to go to depression, and the parents is not paying attention to actually get them help or to talk to them or to take them like into the hospital to actually get help. And then like they actually getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into depression, and then like they started thinking about committing suicide because they are suffering emotionally, physically, mentally. They feel like there is no help because no one is helping them, no one is paying attention to their reaction, their behavior to help them. So the only thing they can think about is just take their life away. There's so many examples that I actually can give where I can cause someone to go through depression to want to commit suicide. I'm gonna give one more. At your workplace, your work can drive you crazy so much that you end up going through depression because you're thinking a lot. You are stressing mentally because your work is too hard, or it could be like like your coworker stressing you out, or your boss stressing you out, your manager, general manager, anybody at your workplace is stressing you out. If you're not strong enough to overcome that, to actually fight that, you're letting it get into you, then you started thinking, stressing, those two are gonna make you feeling depressed. And if you keep getting deeply into depression, you actually going to want to commit suicide. So we need to overcome those stuff. Another example, for the young one at school, you have somebody bullying you. I could never pronounce that word. If I'm pronouncing it wrongly, I'm sorry. Bullying, I think that's the way to pronounce it. I could never pronounce it correctly. A kid at your school is taking your lunch money, beating you up, giving you wedgie, stressing you out. A lot of kids commit suicide because of that, and a lot of kids become a killer, going back to the school or going somewhere like we actually been seeing for the past years, shooting kids, killing people at school because somebody been bullying them at the school, and then the principal never want to help, the teacher never wanted to help. And then some of them is not another kid, is a teacher that's bullying them, because I've seen a lot of teacher bullying kid, causing them to commit suicide or come back to the school because they're stressing out, they're depressed, shooting you, killing you. So I'm gonna have like a separate topic about bullying each other, but I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just saying it, just saying that part to actually show you guys what causing somebody to be depressed and then want to commit suicide. So suicide is a very dangerous thing because a lot of people is doing it right now, especially in the United States. I don't know why there's so many people committing suicide. There's so many people want to take their precious life away. There's so many people like thinking that the best way to get out of their suffering is to commit suicide. But us, that's not going through it. We're not taking the time to talk to those people. Another thing that can make somebody want to commit suicide is because they don't have no one to talk to. They don't have no one to actually help them. So that make them want to commit suicide because all they need is for you to just take maybe like 5-10 minutes talking to them. They just want to get this thing out of their chest, mind. That will help them. And then sometimes medication don't really work. I actually spoke about that in one of my old episode, you know, um, like medication. I'm not saying for you not to take your medication, but there's some people when they take their medication, they go through more depression, and then when they don't take their medication, they feel okay. So I don't know why it's like that, but it do happen. And some people medication work for them. So I'm not saying for you not to take your medication. So we actually need to help those people out. us, by the grace of God, that's strong enough to fight the depression problem, the mental problem, to fight the feeling, the idea of committing suicide. Us that's strong to fight that, we need to help the weaker one because they do need our help. There's a lot of kids, they want to be a superhero. That's one way for you to be a superhero. If you see your friend is depressed, is stressing out, and thinking about suicide, or telling you they want to commit suicide, you could be a good superhero by talking to your friend or get your friend help. If you don't know what to say to your friend, go to your parents, say, Dad, my friend said he wanted to commit suicide. Or Dad, my female friend says she wanna commit suicide. I don't know what to tell her. Can you help? Can you help? So maybe your dad might contact, your friend parents, talk to them, or maybe he or she might take time to actually go talk to your friend. That way you become a superhero because you're helping somebody from committing suicide. So for the ones that want to be a hero, that's the best way to be a hero. You don't need power to fly. You don't need power to run like lightning. You don't need power for like to do this, to do that. All you need is your word and your time to actually help a friend or help somebody that you don't even know, but you feel like they want to commit suicide. But some of them will show you. Some of them you're able to see that, by the way they look, the way they act, the way they talk, the way they move. If you pay attention to it, you will know. I'm not saying that you will know all the time, but 99% of the time, I believe if you pay attention to those, to everybody around you, you will know. So the second point is loss or fear of loss. Loss or fear of loss. A person may decided to take their own life when facing a loss or the fear of a loss. So a fear of loss could be economy failure, being arrested or in prison, bullying, like I just say, shame, humility, humiliation. Sorry for my pronunciation. Finance problem, end of a close friendship or romantic relationship, like I just say, friendship or romantic could be like, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, or your husband. Loss of a job, loss of a friend or family, accepting accepting you or accepting your sexual life. Maybe you might be you might be like bisexual, or you might be gay, or you might be that somebody, they don't want to accept you as you are, that could cause you to want to commit suicide, or loss of social stature. So let's talk about this. Economy failure. Economy failure, it's like you in college, you're afraid to actually fail your class. You're afraid to fail your class, maybe because your parents spend a lot of money. You have to graduate because you're afraid to make your parents feel ashamed, or your parents get mad at you. You're doing everything that you can to pass your class, like to pass all your tests, to graduate from college. That's very stressful. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. Us parents should not put those kind of pressure to our kids. Some of us do so because like you telling them you have to pass the car, like, because I spend so much money. I spend $50,000, $100,000, this and that. You have to finish. So you're putting a lot of pressure into your child. You're putting a lot of pressure into them. You're making them like think that they have to do it. They have to do it. So like they studying and studying and studying. They don't have time for nothing else. Studying and studying. They might, like drop down, or they might broke down, or they might pass out. because like it's too much pressure. And then some of them do commit suicide. They say, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna pass my class. I don't think I'm gonna do that. You know, they took a gun and blow, they blow their head out because like they do not want to make you keep getting mad at them or make you feel ashamed. And they feel like they unable to pass the class. If they don't pass the class, you're gonna give them problems, so they just take their life away. Economy failure could be a job place. You in the military or you in the economy to be a police or FBI, you go into all those training. You really love the job. You really want to become an FBI or you really want to be a police, but there's so much stress, there's so much pressure, especially like in the military, they're screaming in your ears, doing this, doing that, they're yelling at you. They're doing that just to try to book it down. Those people like if I ever went to the military, I told myself I was just gonna let them keep yelling and screaming because that's like they have to do it. They're trying to break you down to build you back up. But some people are very weak. They cannot go through that training, so they end up committing suicide or thinking about committing suicide. The other one is sorry. The other one is afraid of being arrested or go to prison. I saw a video on YouTube. This guy, they arrested this guy, and he actually was like in the interview room. I don't know why the police did not search this guy. He had a gun. Before you even put a handcuff to someone, not before, but after you arrest someone, you put a handcuff, you have to search them proper before you even put them like into your police car. They didn't even do that. Like the camera that actually was inside the interview, because like those police station, those room actually have camera. I don't know who posted that, but I'm glad they did so we can know what's going on. The detective was talking to the guy. After that, he actually left the room. You this you in the video, the guy stood up and reached to his pocket and pulled out a gun and blow his brain out. And then the detective and the other police ran to the room trying to find out what's going on. And then they see the guy bloodly, like there's blood everywhere. The guy died, and then his gun was right there next to him. So why didn't you guys search that? That person was afraid to go to jail. He was afraid to go to prison because he knew he was guilty. He knew there was no way he was gonna, he was not gonna go to jail. So he took his life away. That's committing suicide. The other one is bullying. I went over that. Bullying can be you at school or somebody at your job or college, whatever, your neighbor, your friend is bullying you. They don't even need to be like in the same school. Or somebody online gaming, this kid that commits suicide by playing online gaming. They're meaning all those gamers making fun of them because they're not good at the game or the way they talk or their accent. I have an accent. I'm not American. I'm Haitian. I have an accent, but I never let people like, like like I never let people like have control of my emotion. I used to have people make fun of my accent, but I never let them like, have power over me. I just laugh at it. And then like, I make them feel stupid because like I keep laughing at it, like I don't let it bug me. So that kind of make them feel stupid. They just walk away, they stop doing it. So that's what we need to do. So shame, I kind of just spoke about shame. If you like in the college, you don't want to make your parents, feel ashamed. You don't want to do this, do that, or you might be like people call you a geek. I'm not making fun of you guys. I'm just saying, because like you actually don't like the way you look. You ashamed of yourself. You're ashamed of the way you look. You're ashamed of having glasses. You're ashamed of not looking too good. You're ashamed of not being popular in school or in college or in your neighborhood. That can cause you to commit suicide because a lot of people commit suicide because of that. Finance problem. Oh my God. Finance problem, people. Finance problem, finance problem, finance problem, finance problem. When we have finance problem, finance problem. Yeah, finance problem. A lot of us want to commit suicide, or they already did, or somebody right now listening to me, you are thinking about committing suicide because you're having finance problem. So I'm telling you, right now, my broadcast is open. If you want to talk, communicate with me, we will talk. Do not commit suicide because of finance. Do not commit suicide because of the other stuff I just talked about. But if you're going through a lot of finance problem, because that is another thing that make people go through depression, because they are afraid of losing their house, they are afraid of losing their car, they are afraid of losing their wife because their wife married them for money. They are afraid of losing their job. If they lose their job, they're not gonna have money. They are, like they are afraid of doing all the stuff. And then the one that actually don't have the money, don't have the job, they think about that all the time. Let me take my life away. I heard a story of this guy. I forgot what year was it. He actually blew up the IRS building, and where was it? In Atlanta or in Florida? Somewhere. He blew up the IRS building because the IRS keep taking his tax. They keep taking his tax money. So that he actually, I think he took a small plane and then fly to the building, or he did something. He blew up himself in the IRS building. So that's a way of committing suicide because of failure of his finance. He was going through a lot of time. He was going to a hard time. He didn't have money. So a lot of people, like, they kill their wife, they kill their kid, and they kill themselves because they don't have money to support their family. So they took, for them not to leave their family behind to actually suffer, in the back of his mind or her mind, I have to take them with me. So he killed them and then he killed himself. So if you are listening to me right now, you are going through that, please do not do that. Talk to someone. You able to actually overcome the finance problem. You're not gonna stay in it for a long time. There is program out there that will help you. Call a nonprofit organization. Call a charity place. Like, talk to your pastor. If you're not a Christian, go to a church. Ask for help. They will help you. Killing yourself because of finance problem is not good. You can pray, invite God into your life, even if you're not a Christian. Put your hands up, say, Lord, please help me. I believe that you are, that you exist. Please help me. God will help you. I went through finance problem too, but what I did, I prayed. I'm in a point of my life right now. If I have it, I have it. If I don't have it, I don't have it. I'm not gonna stress myself. I'm not gonna let it like dominate me and make me want to go to depression. I'm not saying like I'm better than you, but I learned to fight it. I learned to find other ways to overcome those stuff. Loss of a job, what I just did, what I just said, loss of a job. You're afraid to lose your job. You're afraid to lose your job. If you feel like you're gonna lose your job, some people commit suicide, or they're thinking about committing suicide because they feel like they're gonna lose their job. If they lose their job, they're gonna go to finance problems. So those two are connected together. Loss of friends or family, accepting them, like loss of friend or family because they actually don't want to accept them as they are. They don't want to accept their sexual life, their sexual, what is the right way to say it? You know what? I'm gonna just say sexual life. They might be gay, or they might be a lesbian, or they might like, they might be bisexual, and then their friends or their family do not accept them as they are. So most of them commit suicide. Most of them go to depression. Before you commit suicide, you go to depression. So you go to depression, and then like you're thinking about committing suicide. Oh my God, I'm gay. People don't want to accept me. People, don't like me for who I am. They're making fun of me and this and that. They just take a gun and blow up their mind. Or Even or before they take their life away, they take a lot of people's life and then they kill themselves. So the Bible says, "Come as you are." God is telling everybody to come as you are. He's gonna change you. If you are, gay, whatever. Some people like they're making those people think like they cannot become a Christian because they are gay. They're able to become a Christian. God gonna change them. We cannot change. We can talk to them. A lot of pastors they're making a lot of pressure into people for them to change. God did not tell you you're gonna make them change. God is putting you as a leader to talk to them, support them, pray for them, ask God to change them. Because if you are the one trying to force them to change, you will end up make them commit suicide. You will lead them into the wrong path instead of you leading them to the right path. You just have to support them as a pastor. A lot of church don't want to accept gay people like into their church. God said, "Come as you are." Let them come to the church and preach the word of God. Don't be afraid to preach against, against homosexual, against that. Keep doing your job as a pastor. Keep believing in what you believe, and then keep preaching what you believe in. And then, if the person is somebody that God is willing to change, the person gonna keep coming, gonna keep coming, gonna keep coming, and then God will do the work in them. But you're not gonna be the one doing it. You cannot force somebody to change, even if you're not a pastor. Anybody listening to me right now, you cannot force people to change. You will cause them to go to depression. You will cause them to commit suicide. Those stuff are not good, and we need to stop. We really need to stop. I need to stop. I'm talking to myself too. I need to stop. I need to change the way I think. I need to change the way I react around people, because I cannot change I cannot change my wife. I cannot change a girlfriend. I cannot change my brother. I cannot change my friend. I can only be a good friend, keep praying for them, keep supporting them, keep giving them good advice, and then God will do the work through them. God will do the work for you. Some people change their life because somebody else is stressing them out. They didn't really do it with their heart. They're just doing it to please you. When you're not around, they go back doing it again. But when God is the one doing it, He's doing it completely. So a lot of us cause people, I'm getting a little bit hyper, I don't know why, but a lot of us cause a lot of people to commit suicide because we are stressing them out. We're trying to change them. We're trying to force them to change. It is not your job. It is not your place to force somebody to change. You can only support them, help them, give them advice, be a good friend or a good mother, a good father, a good brother, a good sister, a good, whatever you are, a good cousin. And then if you are a believer, you pray to the Lord God Almighty, and then God will change them. But when you are the one pressuring them, you will put so much pressure into them, they will end up going to depression. First of all, they don't even want to change. You want them to change, that will cause depression, and then they commit suicide. Or they want to commit suicide, they're going to stress about it. Satan going to put in their mind, you see, they're stressing you out because you ain't too good. They're stressing you out because you ain't good. They're stressing you out because you ugly. They're stressing you out because you're homosexual. They're stressing you out because you're not a pastor. They're stressing you out because you're not a doctor. They're stressing you out because you're not a good friend. They're stressing you out because of this. And then you got all those stuff in your mind. Keep going up, and you don't have nobody helping you. You will take your life away. A lot of people already took their life away. So I'm here today to tell you guys, I'm not going to say you, I'm going to say we, because I'm including myself too. We need to change. By us changing, we're going to help the other one not to go to depression, to want to commit suicide. We will stop them from doing that. So we really need to stop. We really need to stop this and stop that. So my last point is hopelessness. Hopelessness, either in a short term or longer term lasting trial, has been found in many studies to contribute to the decision to commit suicide. the person may be facing a social or a physical challenge and may see no way the situation could improve. When people feel they have lost all hope and don't feel able to change that, it can overshadow all of the good things in their life, making suicide seem like a valuable option. Well, it may seem, like, I don't know, it may seem like it may seem to them like there's like no way for them to fight that because of us, because of everything I just say, because of everything I just say. We are not helping them. They feel hopelessness because of us trying to force them to change that will cause them to feel hopelessness. But because of us treating them wrong, treating them different because of the way they look, the way they talk. A lot of people commit suicide because of their accent, because they look different, because they act different, they talk different. You're making fun of them, you're causing them to take their life away, and you think God not gonna make you pay for that soul? He will make you pay for that soul. That's why a lot of us are going through a lot, and then we asking God, why am I going through that? Take some time and go over your life and see who you did wrong. Who did you accuse wrongly? Who did you treated wrongly, differently, because of the way they look, the way they talk, because of their sexual orient? I think that's the right word. Orient. I don't know. You start with a R, ORG, something like that. We need to go over our life, sit down, take a little while, thinking over your life, saying like, who did I did wrong when I was younger, or maybe yesterday, or a month later? Like who? Like there's a reason why I'm going through what I'm going. So God probably making you pay for something you did to somebody, and then you cause that person to commit suicide, or the person is still alive, but you cause that person life to go to hell because of the way you've been treating them because of you. But you never ask God for forgiveness, and then now your life is upside down. By us taking the time to actually think about those stuff, we will overcome a lot of situation that's going on into our life, a lot of suffering. Because like when you come to your sense and then like you figure it out and then you find out that you did somebody wrong, if you have the chance to call that person and ask for forgiveness, do it right now. And I bet you a lot of us, our life will change too. That person could be still going to that suffering, that pain, and that person is having a bad life because of you. He or she kept thinking about what you did to them when they was younger. So by you calling them and apologize, you will resolve that situation, you will change your life and that person's life. So we really need to think about those stuff. We really do. We really need to think about those stuff. Sorry. We really need to think about those stuff. We really do. We really need to think about those stuff. So I'm gonna end like that, but I'm gonna continue talking about it on Wednesday. As you guys know, my podcast it's actually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram. I'm live, on different platforms. You guys can look for me at Talk with Jew. Jew like J as in January, U, L as in love. So Talk with Jew. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, follow me on Facebook. Make sure you click on the bell on both, platforms, Facebook and YouTube, so you can always get my all my notification. And I'm also looking for people that would love to help me out because I'm trying to make my podcast better. I'm looking for like, if you're looking for ways to spend you know, your spare time, I'm asking, somebody to help me out. I'm trying to make my sound quality better. I'm looking for like a sound, somebody that's good in sound, somebody that's good in video, video to record a video, edit a video. I'm looking for, those kind of people. and I'm looking for people that will help me set up the broadcast, like come on with the topic, do research about the topic, do all those stuff. So those are the three type of people I'm looking for. It could be one each, or it can be two each. It doesn't matter if you feel like you want to be part of my broadcast. Because my goal is to make this broadcast a big broadcast. My goal is to be on television one day, to have my own channel, to have multiple show, multiple stuff. So if you want to join my team, if you want to join my dream will be your dream. When my broadcast bless, you will also be blessed as well. May God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. Please, 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 please. We need to change. We need to help those people that's weaker than us. Have a wonderful day, and may the blessing of God be with you. Be with you all. Bye bye.
Hello. Thank you for listening to Talk with Jew. We hope that you had enjoyed our show. And please don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk with Jew. If you have not done so, if you did, we just want to say thank you for your support and have a wonderful day. May God bless you all.